Welcome to part 6 of the narcissism analysis on Zanab Jaffries from Love is Blind. Zanab and Cole have just had a big argument, which resulted in her storming out of the apartment. However, they made up again, and both of them have implied there's a good chance of them saying "I do" at their upcoming wedding. Now it's the next day, and Zanab has gone to the bachelorette party for all the women in the show.
I'm still really bothered because Cole's family still doesn't want to meet me. They don't care to meet me.
Cole's parents not wanting to meet Zanab before their wedding will wound her. Wounding happens when somebody shows that they aren't under the narcissist's control and also aren't providing the narcissist with fuel, which is an emotional reaction to them. Wounding is caused when you don't do something to do with the narcissist, such as not picking up the phone when the narcissist calls you or not waving back to them if they wave to you on the street. Wounding makes a narcissist feel weak, unimportant, and vulnerable, and it's why implementing total no contact is so devastatingly effective against a narcissist. It would actually be much better for Zanab if she had met Cole's parents and they got into a blazing row. Yes, they'd still be challenging her control, but she'd be getting a large amount of fuel from them being angry and upset, which would make her feel powerful and important.
Wait, you haven't met his family?
No, he does. They want nothing to do with me unless I marry him. My parents are out of the picture. These are the living grandparents that my kids will spend every holiday with. This is every holiday for me moving forward. And he's just like, they're gonna love you. But like, he's had a conversation with them and they've straight up said, she's just not the type of girl we'd see you with.
What does that mean?
There's something weird about that.
Physically, mentally,
because
emotionally.
Probably,
they've
like,
never
no, they
met
have no
you.
problem
They've seen you
following
on
me.
Instagram.
I really don't mean to be an asshole, but like,
I mean to be an asshole. Something's really wrong.
Wait, what did you say? They on Insta?
They follow you on
Yeah,
Instagram.
they're happy.
and
Yeah, they
watch all your
followed me on
stuff.
Instagram.
That's crazy.
What?
His mom and sister are happy, like relatives are happy to follow me on Instagram, but will not meet me.
Because Zanab's thinking about Cole's parents, her narcissism needs to feel like it has control over them somehow. She can't assert control directly over them, for example by calling them up, because they don't want to talk to her. So instead she moves to the second assertion of control, indirect control. If Zanab complains to the other women at the bachelorette party about Cole's parents and they agree with her, this subconsciously makes her feel like she has control over them. She's right and they're wrong. This is known as smearing. To get the other women to agree with her, Zanab frames herself as a victim and Cole's parents as villains. She uses a pity play, bringing up her parents being gone and how Cole's parents are the people that her kids and her will have to spend every holiday with in the future. She's triangulating, using her parents and her future children to gain sympathy. On the other hand, Cole's parents sound terrible. Apparently the reason they don't want to meet Zanab is that she's not the type of girl they'd see Cole with. They sound judgmental and small-minded at best. However, this is completely different to the reasons we've heard from Cole so far on why his parents are concerned with the marriage.
What's going on just has them like in fear. They can't get over that it's different, that it's an experiment, that we're engaged this quickly, that they didn't get to meet you before we got engaged, that we're living together this fast, that everything because of my past relationship, they don't want me going through that. I spoke to my parents and they were like, we'd love to meet her, we just feel like we'd love to meet, say, once y'all are married.
This explanation makes sense. Most parents would be concerned if their son or daughter was getting married after only knowing their partner for a month or so, especially when they've just been through a bad divorce. However, despite having been told all of this, Zanab leaves it out of her explanation and paints Cole's parents more as two-dimensional pantomime villains with only one motivation in not approving of their marriage: her. This shows the paranoia caused by her narcissism and her victim mentality in making it all about her. It shows her revising history to manipulate the other women into taking her side, which based on their outraged reactions, they certainly do. Now, could it be true that as well as Cole's original explanation, his parents actually did say that Zanab isn't the type of girl they'd see him with? Unfortunately, it's impossible to know without further evidence. As you'll see in later parts, like all narcissists, Zanab has a very casual relationship with the truth. She lies and twists the truth to manipulate those around her. It could be true, and perhaps Cole told her about this when the cameras weren't rolling. It could be that Zanab has twisted the truth, and perhaps they were commenting that she wasn't his usual type as more of an aside comment than a primary reason not to marry her. Or it could be a complete fabrication. Finally, we see a great demonstration of a potential collateral consequence. Unaware narcissists like Zanab assert control over others in the moment. However, this often results in poor outcomes for them in the future, which are so-called collateral consequences. In this case, Zanab has succeeded in asserting control over Cole's parents right now. But what happens if the wedding goes ahead, and then Cole's parents watch the show and see her attacking them? Wouldn't this derail their relationship? But an unaware narcissist isn't thinking steps ahead like this. They need to assert control now, and they'll deal with the consequences later.
Crazy.
Not even over FaceTime.
Not FaceTime, not phone calls, no nothing.
Crazy.
I have a lot of words. I think all of us can agree. Like Cole, he's a cute little boy, okay? You know what? He's a cute little boy. And I don't mean to attack your fiance, because this is honestly, I feel like a little bit like a bitch. But like, you are just...
If someone with emotional empathy were in Zanab's situation, and their partner, who they supposedly loved, was being haughtily dismissed as a cute little girl or boy, completely unsolicited, they would almost certainly feel defensive on their behalf. They might think, hang on a second, this is my partner you're talking about here. You barely know them. What gives you the right to talk about them like that? They may not want to make a scene and speak up, but something just wouldn't sit right with them, and their discomfort may well show. In Zanab's case, she gives a shrug, seeming to imply, oh, I don't care, carry on. This shows a lack of empathy and a lack of accountability. It's actually even worse in this case, because Zanab knows that Cole's going to watch this all on television when the show's released, so he'll see himself being attacked here. Yet she still doesn't feel the need to defend him.
Like Cole, he's a cute little boy, okay? You know what? He's a cute little boy. And I don't mean to attack your fiance, because this is honestly, I feel like a little bit like a bitch. But like, you are just so much greater than him. Like, baby, like when I say like, not just physically, it's like the emotion.
Yeah, you are
just
step
think,
above.
like last night, he was like, I just want someone that's really nice and really sweet. And I was like, Cole, I show you things that are sweet and nice
You are
every
one of the
day.
nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Every single day I show him. He had the nerve to ask me if I was bipolar at the dinner table.
Ask him if he is a child.
Zanab's told that she's so much greater than Cole, both physically and emotionally. Again, instead of defending Cole, she actually joins in and starts attacking him too. This shows a lack of empathy, a lack of accountability, and grandiosity in implicitly agreeing that she's so much greater than Cole. So for the second time, we see Zanab smearing, but this time she's smearing Cole. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you will be smeared at some point. It's not a matter of if, but when. As before, there's a clear victim in the story, Zanab, and a clear villain, Cole. Zanab shows Cole nice things every single day, while Cole demands someone who's nice and sweet and accuses her of being bipolar at the dinner table. It's not an out-and-out lie. Cole did say those things. However, it doesn't represent the context of the situation well. We don't hear about the torrent of criticisms she unleashed on him beforehand, and how she shut him down and manipulated him every time he tried to bring up her behaviour. This is because we're getting Zanab's narcissistic perspective on what happened. As I've said before, an unaware narcissist lives through the same situation as their partner, but perceives it in an entirely different way. A narcissist truly believes that they're the victim and their partner is the abuser. Often, a narcissist will abuse their partner relentlessly until finally the partner snaps and in anger and frustration insults the narcissist. The narcissist's mind erases everything they did to cause the situation and just focuses on the partner insulting them. From the narcissist's perspective, they're being abused. Then, in the future, the narcissist holds this over the partner's head, controlling them by making them feel guilty for their outburst. Or, as we see in this case, the narcissist uses their partner's outburst when smearing them to others in order to get sympathy. So Zanab isn't trying to explain the situation in full in order to get the other women's perspective on who's in the right. Her narcissism already believes she's 100% in the right and just wants validation from the others. And she gives them the propaganda version of what happened. Now, it looks like the producers have skipped forwards a bit in the conversation.
I didn't care, I wouldn't have the uncomfortable conversations. We like belly laugh. We have a good time. Like we conflict like resolution so fast now. I am so proud of us. Like I see massive changes in him. This is the greatest, highest, like most like awesome, intense, like love experience like ever.
Cole is painted white again. It's flipped from him being the villain in Zanab's smear to everything being sunshine and roses again, with belly laughs, good times, fast conflict resolution, Zanab being proud, and it being the most awesome, intense love experience ever. This is yet another example of the disorienting flips we keep seeing from Zanab, which are caused by her narcissism's black and white thinking. Cole is either a villain or brilliant at any one point in time, with no in-between. Notice that Zanab lists seeing massive changes in Cole as one of the good things that has happened. This shows her mindset. He has needed to change because she thinks that all of their issues have been caused by him. To come into a brand new relationship and expect somebody to make massive changes after knowing them for a few weeks shows a lack of boundaries and a lack of empathy. It shows hypocrisy and a lack of accountability because we know that she's unwilling to admit any wrongdoing or make any changes herself. It shows grandiosity in always thinking she's right, and it shows her sense of entitlement.
Going into this bachelorette party, Cole and I probably aren't exactly where I would love to be, but I have a man I love that I think loves me.
I want to get Lydia's to do tonight.
I'm just kind of excited to celebrate that I am engaged and that I'm getting married. Single Zanab has had a great run, and she's ready to be wifed up.
This actually sounds like Zanab's doing the voiceover for her own movie trailer.
Single Zanab has had a great run, and now she's ready to be wifed up. In the upcoming smash hit this summer, starring Zanab Jaffries. Catch of the Century.
This is the grandiosity of a narcissist. They basically feel like their life is a movie where they're the main character. Try to imagine unironically talking about yourself like that in third person without cringing extremely hard. It's difficult. The rest of the bachelorette party is pretty uneventful. We skip forward to the morning of the wedding. There's a section where Zanab is being interviewed, talking to her stepmother and getting into her wedding dress. I'll skip to the main points which are relevant.
I would love for us to just know, like, undoubtedly we're gonna get married today and it's gonna be the start of like the rest of our lives. I would love to know that. We've been through so much and like, I do love him very much. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna feel until I'm standing at the end of that aisle. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I think that like emotions are gonna just kind of take over. I hope that Cole has no words when he sees me. I hope his jaw drops. I hope he looks at me and thinks I'm the most beautiful thing he's ever seen. I think I'm not honestly gonna know until I look up and see Cole. And we have both discussed that like our eyes and whole minds will be on each other. So it's gonna be in that moment, I think, that I will know everything I need to know.
So, in line with what she previously said, Zanab claims that she won't know whether she's going to say I do until she's actually stood at the altar. I'd be really interested to hear your opinions on whether she's actually uncertain at this point, or she's just pretending and she already knows what she's going to say. Thank you for listening. This wraps up part 6 of the analysis. Please subscribe to my channel for future parts, including part 7, where Zanab and Cole finally meet at the altar.